We're going to take a break from the edit tools for a moment and talk about edit modes, which are these four buttons up here in my toolbar. And edit modes determine how your edits and your selections behave in Pro Tools. Now, first of all, I can toggle between these four modes using my function keys. F1 gets me into shuffle mode. F2 is slip mode. F3, spot mode. And F4 is grid mode. We'll talk about grid mode in the next lesson. Let's start with slip mode. Slip mode is pretty simple. It just allows me to move things wherever I want. So let me zoom in here a little bit on my trumpet part. And I'm going to take this section and just move it over here, move it down here, move it up here. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm in slip mode, I can move it anywhere I want. The next mode works a little differently, and that's shuffle mode. Now, shuffle mode is a little bit dangerous. It's like a big, powerful magnet. When I move something in shuffle mode, like this region here, you'll notice that I can't move it wherever I want. I can only move it to where that white line is appearing right here. It snaps right to that region. If I try it with this one, same thing. Bam. Well, that's really nice if I want to snap things together, but it can have a drastic effect when I delete an item. Let me zoom in here and you'll see what I mean. If I'm in slip mode, F2, and I delete this trumpet part here, everything else remains where it is. If, however, I'm in shuffle mode, press F1, and I delete that same region, everything else gets pulled to the left by that amount. So as you can see, everything here on my first trumpet part is pulled to the left. Everything's out of whack. So shuffle mode can be very useful, but it can also be very dangerous. So in order to prevent you from accidentally hitting the F1 key and going into shuffle mode, there is a shuffle lock, which is Command and click Shuffle. The first thing you need to do, though, is get out of shuffle mode. So let's choose slip here, and then Command click Shuffle, and you'll notice there's a lock there. If I try and click that button or press F1, I can't go into shuffle mode. Now, if I'm not in shuffle mode, there's a quick trick to be able to still use that same magnetic power of shuffle mode without having to go into shuffle mode. And that's by holding down the right mouse button on a region and choosing Snap to Next or Snap to Previous. If I choose Snap to Previous, that particular region gets snapped, but nothing else gets moved. If I do Snap to Next, it gets snapped to the right. Very, very nice. Okay, last thing I want to discuss in this lesson is spot mode. Spot mode allows me to move to a specific location. Let's take this trumpet part. All I did was click on it, and it doesn't let me move it anywhere. It pops up with this spot dialog. It lets me choose a time scale, a start point, an end point, a duration, and some other items here. Now we're just going to focus on start. Let me go ahead and move this. So this trumpet part, I'm going to move it to measure 101. I'll hit return. It's moved perfectly there. If I want to move it back to bar 87, I click on it in spot mode, 87, and I'm there. Let me undo that. Now, spot mode is very useful when you're placing, let's say, a sound effect or something else from my audio library, and I want it to be at a specific location in my file. I can use spot mode and target that rather than trying to move it around and line it up. I can just use spot mode and I'll go directly to that location. So that's shuffle, slip, and spot. In the next lesson, we'll talk about grid.